How's the old saying go? Measure 47 times, cut never? Okay, maybe not quite so bad. But ensuring that your measurements are accurate and the proper tools to do so will drastically help you make better speaker boxes. There's two tools that I'm going to recommend, both which helped me like crazy building these speaker boxes. One I already had kicking around, but this one was an addition. I did need to buy this thing after the fact. What's nice about this ruler is it's got tiny little increments and it's got holes for absolutely every unit of measure that you could want in either millimeters or inches. It also has a nice flat edge that lets you drag around the surface that you want to measure. I found that extremely useful for doing all my countersinks, measuring the halfway through, which is 9 millimeters of my 18 mil thick board. To get my holes smack dab in the middle of the wood. I didn't want anything coming out either side and wrecking my speaker box. So I found it useful for that, and I also found it useful for marking up all the centers of all my circles, just to give myself an idea of exactly where everything was going to be. This also lets you visualize very quickly kind of where everything's going to need to sit for your speaker box mock-up later on. Having these measurements exact is really important in a speaker like the ZAF audio set behind me there. There's 3 drivers that are placed relatively closely together. And if I wouldn't have those measurements exactly in the center or in the right spot, or in the same for both the top and the bottom mid-range driver, it would really stick out, I think, like a sore thumb just like right away when I put the tweeter in there, because you would see the difference in the gap from the top and from the bottom of that tweeter. Now, I did initially take and get the measurements off of the PDFs that are supplied by the speaker manufacturer, which in this case is SB Acoustics. But there is a tolerance listed right on the spreadsheet or right on the PDF or the spec for the speaker. So instead of using that as the end-all be-all measurement, I figured it would be better to take the actual measurement from the speaker and then fit them exactly into the proper holes. Aim small, miss small, right? The closer that we can get by eliminating tool error, the better off our finished product's going to be. And that brings me to the second tool, which is a digital caliper made by Presivia. You'll see me use it if you watch the channel at all, building the ZAF audio speakers. And the only downside to this one is, and you can see it right now, is I've pulled the battery kind of halfway out, and I always end up doing this. Flip it over, and then the battery is in, and the tool is on. I find this thing is a battery drain. Other than that, this thing is really accurate and it's been working great for me, and I really do like it. It's a minor inconvenience. Even with it turned off, it just sucks battery life. So it's easy enough to just pop it out when I'm done using it. I flip out the battery, flip it over, and then it's good till the next time that I'm going to use it. This lets us measure any component that we want, be it a screw, a drill bit, to make sure everything matches up and fits properly inside our finished speaker box. If you think either of these products would help you out as well, I'll leave a link down in the description. Keep in mind as well, by clicking the link in the description, you can help support this channel without costing yourself anything. Now, measurements are only going to get you so far. You can have the best measurement in the world and have terrible cuts, and everything goes right to the wayside. So if you want to learn more about getting the perfect cut, that video is going to show up on the side here as soon as it's done.